The Warrior Infantry Fighting Vehicle, IFV, and its variants first entered service with the British Army in 1987. Some 38 years later, it has reached its end-of-service date, but there is currently no designated replacement system. So who are its main competitors? It is clear that the Warrior must have a replacement, but defining what that replacement should or should do is less clear. The search for clarity has been made more difficult by the conflict in Ukraine, which has posed a new threat. However, the long-standing demand for armored infantry support units to have protected mobility and effective firepower remains unchanged. However, the story could be different, as the original idea was that the majority of the Warrior fleet would be upgraded and its end-of-service date was 2040. To properly understand the British Army's possible future IFV plans, it is important to first understand the development of the Warrior. The 1970s saw the UK embark on a program that would lead to the design of an indigenous IFV. The initial aim was to develop a successor to the FV432 family of vehicles that had entered service in 1962, with a new replacement vehicle due to arrive in the mid-1980s. Known as the Mechanized Infantry Fighting Vehicle (MCV) program, a number of different potential variants in different weight classes were evaluated. The project definition phase for what is now called the MCV for the 1980s, MCV-80, took place between 1972 and 1976. This was followed by the publication of General Staff Requirements, and in 1977 it boiled down to a choice between a British design on the one hand and a US AFV design, based on the M113, on the other, with the decision being made to use the British design. GKN Sankey, the company that built the FV432, was awarded the development contract for what is now called the Mechanized Fighting Vehicle 80, MCV-80, and this was followed by a production contract in 1984 where the MCV-80 became the Warrior. Production began in 1986 and deliveries began in 1987. Warrior variants acquired by the British Army included the FV510 Infantry Section Vehicle, of which 492 were acquired, 3 of which were replacements for lost vehicles, bringing the total fleet to 489. This variant featured a Vickers Defense Systems turret equipped with a Rardin 30mm autocannon and a 7.62 by 51mm L94A1 chain gun. In addition, the Army acquired a total of 84 FV511 command vehicles, 105 FV512 combat repair vehicles, 39 FV513 mechanical recovery vehicles, 52 FV514 mechanized artillery observation vehicles, and 19 FV515 battery command vehicles for AS-90 battery commanders. Later, to support operations in Afghanistan, a number of FV515 vehicles were converted into ambulances. Soldiers were actively involved in British Army service in the First Gulf War, peacekeeping operations in the Balkans and Bosnia and Kosovo, the Second Gulf War, and subsequent operations in Iraq and Afghanistan.